one blood and comrade victory.
We are going to Jamaica House. We are rescuing Jamaica, and Mark Golding will be the next Prime Minister.
Power to the people.
Yes, Jamaica, we are here now with the man of the... We are here with the man of the hour, the man of the second, the man of the minute, the man who will be ruling Jamaica, not with an iron fist, not with an iron fist, not with an iron fist, but with a consultative, transformational approach. Mark Golding, what is your commitment for Jamaica for the next 5 years?
We have a series of policy items and programs to address some of the most significant challenges that are facing Jamaicans in the area of education,
Yes.
in the area of agriculture, housing, and many other critical portfolios. Plus, we have the all-important question of governance. And, Jamaica has gone through 10 years of serial issues with corruption, nepotism, graft, and we want to change that. We want Jamaica to go through a period where that is no longer part of the governance of the country. So people can have more trust and confidence that their elected leaders and those who are in a position of responsibility for the affairs of the nation are persons who are there to serve.
Yes.
And to ensure that the custodianship of the resources of the country is transparently handled, and the monies that are available are used for their proper purposes, which is in the interest of the people and the people alone. So what I plan to deliver is honest government, consultative government that listens,
Yes.
a caring government that really tries to look out for those who are vulnerable and need help, and a government that can take the economy to the next level in terms of production and competitiveness and productivity, because it's vital that we generate greater levels of wealth in the country and that wealth is more evenly distributed so that people's quality of life is significantly better. None of this can happen overnight, but the policies that we have are designed to make Jamaica a more productive society, and a society that can generate better outcomes for its people than what has been happening now for many years.
As you talk about the outcome of people's lives, Thursday you sat and you heard Rudolph Stevens' story, the man with the 2 children with disabilities and a family member.
Yeah.
I know that bore you significantly because as a man who grew up with a father who looked out for persons with disabilities,
Yeah.
how you plan to transform the disabilities? That is something that will really need some significant work.
Yeah. I mean, what was quite clear and painful to hear in that seminar were the real life challenges that
many of
so
them.
many of the community face. And, it's really a question of looking at the agencies of government that deal with the kind of support that they rely on and see why it is that they find it so difficult to navigate those agencies and get through quickly and feel cared for and get the kind of attention and response that they deserve. So we're going to have to look at that. Also, in structurally looking at how we build our buildings and the planning code, building codes, and ensuring that the physical environment takes the needs of the community of persons with disabilities into account as a matter that is routine, a matter that is built into the way we do things.
Yes.
And similarly, access to education, how our schools are constructed, transportation systems, all of these things have to be much more aware of the need to serve the disabled community. So it's a question of really trying to prioritize their issues
Yes.
in every aspect of what we do,
Yes.
which is really what the International Convention that Jamaica signed on to, which is reflected in the Disabilities Act, which is
Yes.
brought it into domestic law. That's really so, we passed that law, and we intend as we
Yes.
can by taking that approach when it comes to the community of persons with disabilities.
And you'll also be looking into the PATH program.
Yeah, well, that's one of the agencies that I'm referring to, where it's very difficult, which is kind of imponderable for me, but it is very difficult apparently, for persons with disabilities to get their matters attended to get themselves to on the PATH program and to be beneficiaries, seamlessly. They seem to often have to wait for very long periods of time and, jump through hoops, which it should not be the case. They should be prioritized because PATH is really about vulnerable people.
Yes.
And that community is probably the most vulnerable community in the country. So they should be prioritized when it comes to programs like PATH.
Recently on the campaign trail, you made mention of all cabinet members' statutory declarations will be made public. Is that something that you will be honoring as
Yeah.
Prime Minister?
Yeah, I mean, I try to avoid saying things that I don't intend to deliver.
Yes.
I'm not somebody given to making a lot of promises, but I think that we've reached the point now where we need to have some coherence on this score. There's no reason why the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition's statutory declarations in some reform are published when other members of the executive are not, because the point is that anybody who is making decisions around licensing, permits, procurement, and so on, those kind of high-level policy decisions really ought to, that transparency ought to apply across the board.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying we will do.
The disrespect from Favour Williams for not honoring a meeting with the police of this country. What do you want to say to the police this time? They have been working hard and very vigorous to do all they can, but their compensation is not being added in terms of giving them value. What do you want to say to the law enforcers today?
Well, help is on the way. They have been doing a tremendous job, and we've seen the excellent results over the last year and a half as a result of adopting strategies which we have long been advocating for,
Yes.
which is really focusing on the core risks from a security standpoint, and rather than this broad state of emergency sweeping up, but not actually achieving any kind of prosecutorial advantage.
Wow.
That can lead to persons being held accountable for their wrongdoing.
Yes.
So we support the police force, and we commend them for their efforts. And when it comes to their benefits, when it comes to their benefits
Yes.
and their compensation issues, they are deserving of being treated with respect. So the fact that they've been trying to get a meeting and they're being given the
Shafted.
Given the run around, yeah, it's so very inappropriate. And I would urge the minister to correct her stance on that. And,
Well, she has a few days left.
okay, well, that's right. So I know that.
So public sector transformation will be priority on your list as Prime Minister. I remember you speaking about efficiency in government.
Yeah.
Is it that you're going to be creating a new Dodge like Donald Trump?
No, the focus isn't really primarily about eliminating as much cost as possible out of the public sector, because our philosophy accepts that the state has a very important role to play in ensuring a cohesive society and ensuring a productive economy. But it's really about looking at the rules and procedures to see where there are inefficiencies
Yes.
in those rules and procedures or costs which should not be affecting people who use those services, so that we can basically have a more modern and efficient system. And that is a a particular area where I have some skills
Yes.
professionally. So I am looking forward to bringing my own effort to that process.
But in bringing that effort to that process, are you ready to debate Andrew Holness?
Yes, I am ready to debate Andrew Holness, and I'm looking forward to that opportunity.
You're going to put some pressure on him in that debate.
So, I'm sure he'll be trying to do that to me, and yeah, I'm there to represent our point of view as best we can.
The perspectives of the people.
Yeah, and exactly the perspectives of the people and the perspectives that we have been developing as to why we think Jamaica's stagnating, why Jamaica is not achieving her full potential, and why Jamaica needs change. So that's what I'll be doing.
I have been hearing people saying to me, Andre, they're likening you to that of a Michael Joshua Manley. How do you feel people thinking and seeing you in that perspective of a Joshua Manley ready to transform Jamaica social, political, and economic needs?
Well, Michael Manley was a visionary, a brilliant man, a great communicator, and somebody who, in many respects, was ahead of his time because some of the ideas that he was championing, which were rejected ultimately, are back in vogue today. So I personally don't wish to compare myself with him. I admire him tremendously. He's somebody I knew personally. He had an influence on me when I was a younger man. And, he would always be a hero.
An icon.
Yeah. I mean, to the extent that, we have a common concern for the welfare of people, in particular those who have been dealt a difficult hand historically and who need the benefit of good policy and a strong state that cares about the progress of the people. We share that attitude and that orientation. And so, I can see why people would say there's a commonality in that regard. Yeah.
My final word to you today, Mr. Golding, is yesterday you had to make a difficult decision whether to go ahead with your meeting or to postpone the meeting until a later date.
Yeah.
When you were doing so, what was your major consideration? What was the main reason? Was it the safety of the people?
Yeah, I was very concerned because of what has been happening and some of the things that have been said, where allegations of political violence have been loosely put forward by the JLP, which are not supported by the facts, which is a dangerous course for them to embark upon because words can have impact.
Yes.
And untrue words can have disastrous impact. And in the context of that kind of atmosphere, when they decided to have their meeting at halfway tree, which we understood to be the meeting to announce the election, we decided that we didn't want to expose our people to any risk of confrontation with their people, especially on the way home after the meeting. And, the nature of Kingston is that, there would have been interactions, and we didn't want that to be. We want to protect people from the possibility of getting hurt. So that was the primary concern. It was a concern about the welfare and safety of our people.
Yes. So you'll be keeping that meeting this week coming?
Yes, I think the plan is presently we're going to try and keep it on Saturday.
Next week, Saturday?
Yeah, this coming Saturday. Yeah, a week from now.
A week from now,
yeah.
You're going to turn up.
Yeah.
Turn up Kingston and St. Andrew.
We are, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'm sure the comrades will be coming with energy and enthusiasm. And, we're looking forward to that meeting very much. And, had it been held yesterday, tomorrow rather, had it been held on Sunday, as had originally been scheduled, and we've gotten police permission for it.
Yes.
Because it was the last in our series of parish meetings. So for the GLC representative to tell the media that, suggest I'm not telling the truth, is really unnecessary because we did have police permission and we were going ahead with it. They subsequently decided they want to keep their meeting in halfway tree. And as I understand it, the police initially resisted that. They didn't have permission for it. They were encouraged to have it elsewhere,
Yes.
but they were adamant that they wanted to have it there. And once they took that position, and because it's such an important thing, the announcement of the date of the election, I didn't want to,
disrupt.
Yeah, I wanted to let that go ahead because we want the election to happen. So that is why we decided to look, let's just ensure the safety of our people and, put our meeting for another day.
Well, Jamaica, we have to wrap up now because we're now in St. Thomas at Yalas.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that the comrades are out on a frenzy, waiting on the leader and the party president and the prime minister in waiting.
Yeah, thank you,
Yes.
Andre.
Thank
All the
you.
best to you.
Thank you, thank you,
man.
thank you.
God bless.
Is the manifesto ready?
Yes,
Yes.
How soon can we expect the manifesto to be released?
we will launch the manifesto shortly after they tell us the date of the election. Call the election, the Prime Minister, please. Call the election, man.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that manifesto because we're not going to make them take any ideas from the People's National Bank.
No, they can't take anything from it again. People have already concluded that they are out of ideas and they want a better life. So the Better Life Manifesto is coming.
It's called a better...
No, it's not called that, but I'm just saying we're campaigning on a better life. Yes.
A campaign for a better life. Well, Jamaica, as you can see, the people are on a frenzy waiting for Mark Golding and the Golden Trade.
Stay tuned for more PDTV News evening highlights. Remember to show your support. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.